Greetings, this is from HMG 2104. My name is O'Daniel, and my team members, they are Evelyn Kaur, Crystal Lau, and Matthew Lim. So this is our assignment. It is to compare the two fast food restaurants, which is Burger King and McDonald's. So these two QSRs, we were told to check on their planning process and their communication processes. And we were also told to compare them and also give solutions for them. Okay, so let's move on to communication processes, which is Evelyn Kaur.
Hi, I'm Crystal. Now we're talking about the communication process. Communication is an important aspect within an organization and to create efficient and effective results. And the exemplary means of communication is required. Communication in McD Surya Sabah. The guest will talk to the cashier, which is use spoken verbal communication, and when the employees to employee is written verbal communication, and if they have non-English speaking guests to the employee is written non-verbal communication. Communication, this is the communication channel, which is have two, upward and downward. In upward, there's have employee surveys, meeting between subordinates and manager, and open door policy. In downward, they have three, which is training, development, and staff manager advice. Barriers of communication within McD. There is overload information. Overload is defined as a sending and receiving of too much information given the circumstances surrounding the situation. Communication process in Burger King Putatan. All form of communication within the outlet is spoken verbally only. Another form is verbal communication that is seen within the outlet is implementation of electronic verbal communication. This is the channel of communication process. There have three, which is upward, downward, and horizontal. In upward, there's only one, which is request for assistance. Downward, we have three, staff managers advice, policy, and training. And horizontal is information about the supplies. Barrier of communication in Burger King Putatan. The barrier is timing. Often their order come in late, which in turn makes the food served also late. Often there are only one cashier to take order from the customers. Next, I pass to Evelyn.
McDonald's has a mission statement that is to be our customer favorite place and way to eat. The statement explains an organization's central purpose. It also has fulfilled the rules of writing and implementing mission statement. It is a simple yet allowed while input within the company and has a developed tone that reflects McDonald's hospitality. There is no barriers of effective planning to be found in McDonald's. Burger King planning process is to offer reasonable price, quality food, quick service in attractive, clean surroundings. Their statement perfectly aligns to their core value, which is working commitment to the food and the people and also the environment. Burger King does not have a short-term and a long-term plan. Barriers of effective planning is lack of focus on the long term. Burger King did not have long-term goals, as I say. Instead, they focus too much on their short-term goals. And that's all.
My name is Matthew. For my part, is comparison between MACD and Burger King. For MACD, is in terms of finance and success. For Burger King, is good peer-to-peer relation. Barrier for the second one is barriers in communication is overload. For Burger King, is timing. The third part is their quality of planning process in MACD is better than Burger King. For the planning process of Burger King is lot many important aspects. The both of their overall is McDonald's has a much more well-prepared management system as well as a well-done design team. For Burger King is should use McDonald's as an example in order to make better plan for the future.
Okay, hi again, my name is Daniel. So we are now going to talk about solution, and Matthew is going to help me read the problems.
The first problem will be the barriers of communication within McDonald's Surya and the overlapping information.
Okay, so the remedy for this is that the sender always has to keep check on the receiver whether there is too much information or too little to come out. So the sender always, the receiver has always to check on the sender to keep minimizing the numbers of information that comes in, or else it will be bad. So as you can see here, it says the receiver and the sender should be informed when there is too much information flowing through. Can I have the second problem, please?
The second problem is communication is Burger King. Most of the orders made are spoken verbal, which is very slow movement of information as a manager.
Okay, so the remedy is to have a better process of communication between the front lane and the back lane. And for the orders, it has to be digital tracking, and so it's easier to track. This is related to the third problem, which is the barrier found, timing. Timing is also required. The remedy for timing is to have technology. So second problem, first problem, they both have the same remedies. You need technology. Okay, so I'm going to move on. Can I have the fourth problem, please?
The fourth problem will be the planning process of Burger King.
Okay, so Burger King right now is in a very bad state. They have very bad marketing strategies. But then again, it all comes from management. So as you can see here, the current mission statement is good enough, which is to have reasonably priced food and higher quality. But the problem is Burger King does not have any goals. Burger King must have goals which are specific and measurable. 1. Realistic and challenging. 2. Focus on the key result areas, and it must cover a specific period. Well, it doesn't need all of that, but those are very, very important parts to have a proper goal. And for Burger King, they should have a new plan for the future. The current plan is completely obsolete, but they will need a new plan to be successful in the future. Can you have the fifth problem, please?
The fifth problem is the Burger King barriers in the planning process is the lack of focus.
Lack of focus. As a manager, we must always see we cannot have it on the controllable variables. You must have the long-term goals and the short-term goals. You cannot always simply look at the long-term goals. Short-term goals are just as important. And for that, managers should always engage, and they should always plan, and they should always do it as a regular performance. Okay. In conclusion, communications and planning is very important within a company. It allows transmission from one person to another person for communications. But for planning, it's also important because it establishes goals, create mission statements, implement plans, and it picks strategies in order to make the company successful. So, thank you for listening.